We are the Ministry of the Real Truth, and of late we have been making small talk with those of the Islamic faith, Muslims, etc. on our YouTube channel. Some people really good feedback, some good feedback but very sarcastic, trying to make us conform to their particular brand of religiosity, i.e. Islam, coming up with many assumptions that we're this, we're that we haven't done this, we haven't read it before, etc., etc. Pardonable, forgivable. But we will only debate with people for so long, not a set or fixed time, but a certain time where we feel that's it. It's not really getting somewhere, anywhere. They just want to argue. Even though we represent the facts, the established facts, which synchronise, the evidence that proves itself evident, top theologians, scholars, translators of the biblical scriptures, as well as the Quran. These are Arabic speaking Muslims. Yeah, they fully understand the Quran. They maybe have their own opinions, views, perspectives. They may be, as to our surprise, as translator of the Quran we were reading turned out to be a woman who had these different perspectives, different views, etc. Why she translated it into, or translated it again into English. Some where I shouldn't be listening to a woman, sort of thing, all in the comments, all that sort of stuff. So she said, well, that's sexist because women were created. A woman was created, i.e. Eve, to be the mate, the helper, the companion to Adam. So she is his complement. She is his equal. Okay? But, yeah, they had their views, their perspectives, their opinions. Yeah, this is just the way we see it. Okay? Because we look at the people of the world, especially males, who mistreat them. They don't treat them as their equal. They're their partner for their selfish reasons, but they're not their equal. So they might use them as a punching bag or whatever. Okay? That kind of stuff has to stop, especially in the religions, as far as the religions go. So we decided to learn the Quran from the Arabic into English as best that as we could. We used to have a copy of the Quran, but we gave it to Somalians. They were of that family, right? They were Muslims. They didn't really like it because it sort of restricted and whatever, but they just did it to please their parents, keep them happy. It was a real big green one. We do have a brief on Islam, a couple of other books, but it's not the full Quran, is it? So there are available free, royalty-free, copyright-free, etc. versions of the Quran online. And we happen to find this one, where it says, start reading the Quran with simple punctuation in under 2 hours. And there's quite a lot of videos there, some short, some an hour long. And we downloaded it to study it over time, and it turned out to be 20 gigs. But that's okay, we have a big hard drive. There's basically nothing on our hard drive because we wiped it of all that was non-godly, etc., etc. So yeah, should be alright. So we found this in the public domain. Start reading the Quran with simple punctuation in under 2 hours. He doesn't go into the harder punctuation. Okay, and this was like published 2022. It has attribution, non-commercial, no derivatives, 4.0 international user or usage license. Okay? Creative Commons license. It's pretty much up to date. It's in English, and they have this spiel here where it says, start reading the Quran with simple punctuation in less than 2 hours with Qada to Nuranya. Following the book, learn to read the Noble Quran with a step-by-step guide. This person tried their best to make these lessons as straightforward and fast as possible. He only covers basic grammar, punctuation, tajweed, and is unable to teach a higher level of tajweed. So you're forgiven for any mistakes you most likely made. These are what he says, not what we're saying. A lot of people seem to say, oh, you said this, you said that. We're reading from these books, etc. What these writers, what these authors, etc. are saying and relating it to our viewers. So you can't come at us and say, oh, you said that. We didn't. The author, the writer, or the person narrating it has said it. Okay, so he just wanted to provide this for his brothers and sisters in the faith, obviously, Muslims, to reach a basic level of reading the Quran. Once you complete these lessons by the will of Allah or God, you should be more confident in reading and be able to take through the classics from a different teacher. Okay, so it's really good to know it, to learn it, to know it, i.e. recite it as well, be able to recite it off the top of your head, right? And know it better than those who practice it. Okay, in comparison, this is what Bruce Lee did with his martial arts. Okay, we're using this as an example. Okay, we used to be hardcore fans of Bruce Lee, still admire him for what he achieved, but we don't run around going Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, all that sort of stuff, right? Like you're worshipping him as a idol, okay? Because we found behind the scenes, same with Elvis Presley, what he was really like. Possibly because of his pain in his lower disc and all that sort of stuff, and whatever he took to relieve himself of that. Being a person who probably had ADHD in his day, he was restless, he couldn't sit still, hence his nickname in Cantonese, etc., and other factors. And Elvis Presley, who probably had an addiction to amphetamines, etc., etc., because of his army days, which Jimi Hendrix had a problem because of that, right? Being on guard duty, had to take things to keep you awake, etc., etc., right? And become a habit, become an addiction. Okay, so we are looking at this, which we found in the public domain, public access. So no copyright infringement was intentional, and we bring it for educational purposes alone, especially ours. So we can understand the Quran and the Muslims better. We have a neighbour who is really, really nice, a genuine Muslim man, probably about 40 or 50. He's just an amazing person. Okay? He's very, very helpful, very, very kind. We put vegetables on the fence, like chocos, all that sort of stuff we grow for them, right? Sometimes he comes over and gives us a specially prepared meal. He invites us to open days at his mosque to learn more. There's classes, all that sort of stuff. So we may do that. We are not of that faith. We're not really interested in that faith, but we'd like to learn. So if any of them come at us and say, blah, 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 this, we can give a calm, cool, collective rebuttal. Okay? Not a retort where we're really nasty, okay, but cool as a cabbage in snow. Come back, right? Feedback. Okay? When they want to compare the Bible with their Quran, they say this, that, and then we present them the original ancient, very old Tav Asheret, the Aramaic, from the Lishana Artica Saprea, which is from hand copied by monks and scribes in Urhai, Urfa in Arabic, Edessa, or today's modern Turkey. Okay? With their 6th or 7th century Quran. Okay? Doing these comparisons. But they don't want, no matter how much sources, links to sources, top experts, of today, recommended experts, books that people should read by these particular experts, be they of the Muslim faith, the clerics, etc., translators, or theologians, Bible, scripture, Christian scholars, theologians, whatever. They just, no matter how much information you give them, how many links, and ask them, provide your sources, they never do. Okay, they just give you this rant. Oh, this is what it says, this is what it means. Okay, some do suggest, so we take the time to say, well, thank you for that, and we go have a look at it. Okay, we've already read that years ago, or we made a video on it, but we'll go listen to it again, etc., etc. It's good to get critiqued, because you may not fully understand what it's actually talking about. There may be, like we found with the original ancient Aramaic, there were some things that we were getting wrong because we hadn't gone back to the translation project, the website that we had revived all that information and looked at what was actually said there. Okay, so we had to, we made a mistake, we admit that, got it wrong, we go back and we learn it again. So next time, we know exactly what was said by the native-born Aramaic, fluent Aramaic-speaking translator, Victor Alexander from Bet-Narain, or Mesopotamia, Syria, who's had at least 20-30 years now of translating both the Tav Asheret, or Aramaic Old Testament Lishana Atika Sapraya manuscripts into the nearest English equivalent, as well as the original ancient, very old manuscripts of the original Apostolic Church of the East restored into the Galilean Aramaic New Testament, translating it into the nearest English equivalent, as well as his translation project information, etc. So we're going to have a listen to this. There's actually quite some surprising information here. Let's listen to it and then ad-lib where necessary.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now, inshallah, I'm going to be going through a book titled Al-Qa'idatul Nuraniyya. And inshallah, this is a book that teaches beginners who don't know any Arabic how to read the Quran from the Alif.
Alif? Is that not Syriac, Aramaic, Hebrew? Beta, probably in the Arabic. Bet, in the Hebrew or the Aramaic. Syriac.
To joining letters and then learning simple types of punctuation all the way up to...
So in asking that question, when you said Aleph, Beta, etc., and we said that's from the Hebrew, the Aramaic, and the Syriac. So is this not from the Syriac originally? Okay. Very similar to it. It's originating from there. We did find through a Kemet scholar, so-called Kemet scholar, Shaka Amos, through one of his videos, that he pointed out that the Nabateans, who were not these Muslims, apparently, okay, as they claim, okay, they are the parent language of the Hebrew, the Aramaic, and the Syriac, and the Arabic is a grandchild or a child language of the Nabatean. We found that online. We tried to find it ourselves. We did find it once on a certain website, but since then we haven't found it again, so we have to look at Shaka Amos' video, the rise of the Moors or the rise of Islam or something like that. Where did Allah come from? Part 1 or part 2 or another one, and put a link up to that. Okay, so yeah, and there's apparently signposts in the Near East where it had Syriac above it. Yeah? And indications that the Arabic is actually a form of the Syriac and so forth. Okay, so we're going to continue this.
Being able to join words such as these, and then all the way up to being able to read the Quran. So inshallah, anyone who opens up a Quran and doesn't know what they're looking at or how to read it, inshallah I'll be able to take you from saying a few letters to being able to read entire pages, inshallah.
Excellent. That's the whole idea of us learning it. Because if we have a copy of the Quran like this, in the Arabic, and we come across somebody who says, Jesus was this, Jesus was that, Jesus was a prophet, whatever, we can say, well, in your Quran it says whatever it says in the Arabic. And they'll be like, whoa, how the heck can you, a plain old commoner from way down under, know that? How did you learn that? Right? Easy steps. By the start reading the Quran with simple punctuation in under 2 hours. We made it our daily thing to read it, to learn it, so we could read it. Okay? But we understand there may be different dialects of the Arabic, translations, renderings, etc., etc. But basically, we would be able to have our copy, if we had a copy of it, and be able to read it. And teach other people with exactness, if we can put it that way, what it actually says. Say Christians might say, oh, the Quran says this, the Quran says that. Okay, open it up, have a look. Where's that? Or Surah 112.4 or something like that, as an example. We go, no, it doesn't actually say that. In the Arabic here, it says something completely different. So because they're like, they might be critical, pointing the finger, all that sort of stuff. We're not about that. Okay, what we are about as a ministry of the real truth, okay, is we look at, we see these, we hear these, and then we go do the research on them. Okay, is what they are saying fact? Is it established fact? Are there 2 or 3 or 4 or more people out there from different time zones? Okay, because you can't have 3 Romans telling you about the Quran, or 3 Arabs or Muslims or whatever, because they may have sat in the same room, influenced each other. No. My way, my rendering, my translation is the better one, so drop all yours and follow mine. So people do, right? Okay, so they're influenced by that dominant person, right? So you have someone, a translator from, say, way back in Muhammad's day, right? And you have one, let's just say, for example, the Middle Ages, and then you have one modern one. Okay, so the 3 of them agree on what's being said. So that's synchronization, right? And then you got to prove that that writer, or that person who wrote it, the author, is infallible, irrefutable. Okay, because then that deems those writings irrefutable, infallible. But understand that people can debunk it, because they will. They can, they will. So they will, right? Okay? So that's what you got to do. Okay? You can't just go, oh, we heard that the Quran says this and all this sort of stuff. What a load of phooey. It's evil, all this stuff, when you've never read the thing. You've never learnt the Arabic. Okay, you've just got it from you're a repeat teacher or a parrot. You've learnt it or heard it from somebody else. Somebody in your church. Okay, your pastor says, oh, the Quran, this, that, Muhammad, this, that, you know? Because it's all propagandic. It's designed like that. So, yeah, you're controlled by these people, these hierarchy, these leaders of your church. This is the way you think. This is the way you act. This is the way you react. This is the way you behave. It's a form of control. To keep you as a subject under that church, right? Keep you dumb and numb, if you want to put it that way. Okay? You're controlled by them. And then you become this repeat teacher. Repeat as I said. Okay? Or a parrot. And you go out there, you go, oh, the Bible says this, Bible says that, when it actually doesn't. Because you don't understand it. Because you don't have the Eastern mindset. Remember these people that originally were inspired by, moved by the Holy Spirit to write it down, these prophets, etc., etc., up to Jesus' disciples and apostles beyond that. They all had Eastern mindsets. Because when they were infants, through their childhood, etc., they were brought up on that culture, traditions, rituals, the language. They had this Eastern mindset, so they think with an Eastern mindset, whereas we in the West are the opposite. We have that Western mindset, that Western education, Western mindset, etc., etc., right? Okay, to the Easterner, something that seems mystical and mythical and all this sort of stuff is true. Us Westerners look at it and go, oh, that's totally ridiculous. That's like science fiction or something, right? Fables, whatever. They look at it and say, well, okay, it's not necessarily true. Yeah, okay, it could be a lie, but we believe it anyway. They have a very different mindset. So for you as a Westerner to fully understand what was originally written in the original languages, okay, translated in English, etc., you must adopt a Eastern mindset, okay, which we have done through communication with the native-born Aramaic-speaking translator Victor Alexander from Bet Narain, or Mesopotamia, Syria. Okay, we were trying to catch him out, all this sort of stuff, using our Western mindset, understanding, but we never did. We never could for some reason. Okay, he's a very lovely man, comes at us nicely, never like arrogant, has a bit of a chuckle with us. Wow, you find some amazing things, some weird things on the internet. He was never gruff like the modern Aramaic, Syriac, Hebrew Professor James de Francisco. We got all grumpy, and then he finally answered our question, right? Okay. He was never like that. So that's why we call him our mentor. Okay. We named him our mentor because we asked him, can we learn that Aramaic that you've learned? You know? Basically to help him out, because he's like pretty old now, right? And continue his work for him. He said, well, it's nice basically, but there's no point because you Westerners, it's too hard for you, right? That particular Tav Asherit, whatever, we're pretty sure that's what he's talking about. Yeah, so just go with my translations because, trust me, because he's made it his mission. It's his mission to translate those correctly without the common translator's bias, prejudice, omitting, adding, revising, adding their own flavour, twist to it, etc., etc. As he found when he went to translate those originals, Tav Asherit, Old Testament manuscripts, and the Galilean Aramaic, New Testament manuscripts, that others had done it, the Western Pashto, Eastern Syriac Pashto, etc., but they totally messed it up. They totally botched it. So he made it his mission to translate it into the nearest English equivalent correctly. And that's what we bring to all. Okay? And we also have policies in place. Honestly, it is our best policy. We strive to stick by that. We believe in old-time chivalry. Often we quote the William Shakespeare quote, which makes us human. We are human, therefore we err. We make mistakes. Show us a person that does not ever make mistakes, or is perfect, and we'll prove them a liar. Okay? And so forth. Yeah, so if we find that we've made a mistake in our video or description, it happens sometimes, we go and remedy it. We go and fix it. If someone else comes at us nicely, maturely, as an adult, not as a spoiled rotten kid in a candy shop who didn't get the lolly, right? Or a brat. Okay? We have many of those coming at us. Okay? We understand why. It's all psychological. Your neuro wiring, your cognitive problems, etc., etc. Okay? But we don't put up with it. We don't have to. You probably don't have to, so we don't have to. If you want to treat somebody like that, expect to get treated like that. Okay? Expect the consequences, expect karma, if you want to look at it that way, to bite you full teeth on the bottom. Okay. So, we have these things in place. We have another method. We won't call it deceit or trickery, but we just have things in place that assures us that the person hasn't listened to what we've said or what we've put across to them from some author, some writer, from some book, okay? Because they botch it up, they get it all wrong, and then they start making assumptions. You said this, you said that when we didn't. Hello, the author said that. Now go back, rewind the video. There you go. This is what the author said, not us. Okay, we're only relaying it, what the author said. Okay, then they start making these assumptions, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so, yeah, getting back to this is what we want to do. Okay, we have thousands and thousands of different books. We can't read that many, but if one comes to mind, we'll have a look at it. We'll take the time and read it. Okay, we'll go and study about it. We do the research, provide the links to the sources of the information that we find. Look behind the scenes. It's called investigative journalism. You might find the dirt on certain people, right? Okay, this guy is preaching anti this, anti that, and yet he gets caught in a hotel room with somebody else wearing a frilly dress or something, and he's doing exactly what he's telling his church not to do. Yeah, or else he's saying, no, don't listen to secular music, you can't listen to that, the worldly music, you can't watch those worldly films, all that sort of stuff, it's the devil, blah, 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 or whatever explanation they have, right? And then one of the people goes to their house, what do they see? All these DVD videos of all the Hollywood movies, okay, of late, yeah, all these secular music, heavy metal, whatever, right? Oh, come on, man. You say don't have that in your house, and yet here you go. You got it all in your house. Hypocrite much? Yeah? Okay, so let's go back to this and listen to it again a little bit more.
This is going to include simple punctuation, but I will not be going through advanced punctuation. So this is for anyone who wants to start their journey on being able to read what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down in the Holy Quran by themselves without any help. Inshallah. We all need to have a strong...
By themselves without any help. Wow, that's amazing, right? We actually talked to the neighbour next door. He says, like, you know, you should really go to the courses that they have their mosque and open day, whatever, and learn from there. You know, you can learn from videos and books, but you know, it's not really the same. It's better to it's better to learn from someone hands-on, right? Someone that knows what they're talking about, someone that's of that religion. Hopefully that person knows what they're talking about, and don't give us the bum steer, right? The bum version of it, completely wrong, put us wrong. So when we go to somewhere else on our travels, and we talk to some Muslims, they go, who the hell taught you that rubbish? That's not even what it says. Oh, this guy at the mosque. Well, that guy really needs to kick up the pants because he's taught you all wrong. So yeah, by yourself in your own time, that's great. You like that offer, right? That opportunity.
Connection to the Book of Allah. And that starts with being able to read the Book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is in Arabic. And slow...
Because apparently people learn the Quran, they've been told in this, that's in the Quran, and they can't read the damn Arabic. Okay? It's a fact. Okay? So they're being dictated by the imams, these translators, this is what it says. And they go, oh, okay, we'll trust you on that. And then maybe if they learnt the Arabic, they'll find, no, that's not exactly what is in there that you were telling us. Okay? Why did you tell us a load of bunk? Okay? Because remember, these people, they say, this is the original Arabic. Unchanged, etc., etc. The Quran's unchanged, etc., etc. But some admit, no, it's not the original Arabic. It's a form of it. Okay? You don't have that original Arabic. This is a form of it. So that form is not, it's of the form, but it's not that exact form. Okay? But to verify this, you have to go and do your research. Talk to some imam or somebody that it's good, like we got a name next door. He's really cool. Ask him some questions. He doesn't mind. He stops and he answers our question, even though his car is running and it's using his petrol. He takes the time to talk to us, to answer our questions, and he's very happy outwardly. Smiles. He's not faking it, because you can tell when someone's faking it, right? And they're trying to push to get you on their side, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so this just messed up for some reason, saying it's got an error code. Ooh, it's the devil, Shaitan, trying to stop us from learning it, maybe. Okay, so we'll leave it there. As you said, it's like about 20 gigabytes in length. We got nothing on this computer that we reinstalled. This operating system that we installed this Linux OS, which is really, really good. It has these extras. Like it's kind of weird. Like, we've never known the operating system to have copy without site checking and all this other stuff. It's pretty cool. And it's got really cool audio options. We did have it before, and we played around with those. Then we lost everything because we mucked around for too much. So we spent 4 hellish hours or 5 hellish hours trying to find a USB to put it on. We tried all these discs that we had of these different Linux systems, etc. Windows 7, and it was just hell. And we finally found a USB where we could download this Linux version and put it on a USB and run it and reinstall it. And it's been hunky-dory ever since. So because this thing's messed up, we're not going to... what's this? Up here. Refresh it. Yeah, that's the word we're looking for. And then carry on. Okay. So you got the basics of it. This is what we're going to do. It's a Ministry of the Real Truth. Okay. So if you like this video, hopefully it's short and sweet, not too long. We don't have to cut into many, many parts. Give us a like. Subscribe to our channel. Add your comments below. We'll get back to you on those as soon as we can. And then go share it with all your family, friends and others. Okay, it's really good to have that understanding of somebody else's religion, etc. You don't have to be part of it. You don't have to conform, no matter how much they say you must, all this sort of stuff, right? You have that choice. Okay, you have the decision at the end of the day. If it appeals to you, resonates with you, well, that's up to you. Okay? And perhaps through God you'll realise that these people, even though of a different religion, and there's all these so-called claims because of extremists, etc., etc., through the Fox News, all that sort of stuff, all the media, all that sort of stuff, you may come to wake up and realise they're still human beings at the end of the day. When the sun goes down and it comes up in the morning, they're still human beings. They're not robots, they're not sheep, etc., etc. So, we hope, again, that you enjoyed this video. And you know what to do. Give us a like. Subscribe to us. Add your comments below. You go share it with all of those your family, your friends, your church friends, your mosque friends, etc., etc.